Hi everyone, very good morning. I hope you are doing well today. Welcome back to ITOM batch 2 day 16. How are you going? How are you doing guys today?
Good, Rajesh, doing good.
Thank you. So before moving to today's class, we are going to be discuss today process classifiers, processes, process handlers. Right. So is there any questions which we have covered in last 15 days for that? As we already discussed on Friday, the couple of things, but still, if you have any questions related to that. No? Okay, I think let's get started then. Let me know once my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Ajay, you're able to see.
Yeah. So, let me run the quick discovery again on Windows device. Okay, that is already there. So basically what we are going to discuss about the process classifiers. So we discussed about the process discovery, right? So process discovery is or classification is basically working on the OS level. Basically we discussed about how that discovery working on that side. So that is on OS level. We are identifying the processes or OS which based on that classification will be working, right? The process classifier is something which we want to be discover if any application running on that particular machine, like any type of application, that can be MongoDB or that can be Intune application, that can be Apache Tomcat servers, anything which is not discovering, and how we can create a custom one or how we can discover that particular things, that is we are going to do today, right? So meanwhile the discovery is running, let me showcase you the process classifiers. If I go to the discovery, I think there is, yeah, processes and process handlers. So basically that is the process classification table. And if you remember, when I showcase you the dependency map, I especially showcase you how the relationships build with that particular applications, right? So here is the out of the box things which is based on that relationships building. If I open the Nginx example, this, see, so that is my Nginx server table, where we want to be populate this one, the Nginx web server. Right now the question comes in our mind, how we are identifying like which table we need to be populate. As I already mentioned, we have CI class manager, right? Couple of times we don't know, what is the table name, what, how we can populate, what will be the parent table of it, right? The simple and straightforward things, just to go to the CI classifier and try to search there with your name, whatever your name have it, right? So like, uh, if you don't know what is Nginx, right? And how you identify it, so you just go there and just search with Nginx or web server or app server, what you want to be, right? And it's up to us where we want to be populate that particular table or that particular application in particular table, right? If I put Nginx here, you can see I have couple of things, but Nginx is this one, right? So that comes under web server, right? So if I don't know, like, I don't want to create a custom class. If Nginx is something which I need to be discover first time, but I don't want to create a custom class for that, I just want to populate in the web server, I can go directly put the web server table directly here. It's the web server, right? The same way Nginx table is there, right? So if we want to put on specific class, like, let's take an Nginx requirement. Your customer comes to you and mention keep that specific application running on that particular CI, and I see on discovery and dependency map that application is not discovered. I need you want to be populate that particular table or that particular application to a specific class. First of all, you need to be understand what type of application it is. It is web server, it is app server, it is database, what XYZ, right? You have to be understand that particular thing, and then you have to come here and to create a custom class here, right? So if I open, like, there are lots of things. If I put application, if I put application, under application there are lots of application, .NET, Active Directory services, this. So that's basically you are able to understand when you are discussing with customer and get the info, like what will be that, what type of application it is basically, right? So there are lots of, right? The same way if I put web server, right? So there are Apache Cloud, Unicorn, iPlanet, Microsoft IIS, Nginx. Now let's take an example. A new web server is introduced by customer and he wants to be create here, right? Just go here and you can create a custom class as a child class from here, right? Under the web servers, you can but be specific while creating a custom class, right? Understand what is the use of that particular class, how you can identify, because class creation is not a big deal, but the using or updating the records in that particular class using the identification and dependence rules, right? That is the must required, right? So duplicate will record will not be created there. So we need to be understand what will be the parent class for that, right? So let's take an example. I'm adding a child class here. I just need to be put the name. I can put like ABC. This is something, you are creating the custom tables as well, right? Like that only. Automatically the table name will be populate. If you want to put the managed by group specifically to identify which team or which things will be going to be support this one. Default product model, if you want to select, like, what type of it is, right? So if you remember, the product model is something which help to identify while you are running a discovery and you want to be create answers and all, right? Based on that you are going to be and update that one, right? So what type of product model it is like, let me search. Okay, if we have model number we can search it here, like, let me put, it's a software license, network gears, not consumables, computers. Okay, we don't have model, so let's leave it out. Or otherwise we can select like I can select computer. Okay, so that we need to be extensible principal class. That is something which we want to be select, like, if it is extensible we need to be extend this one, or the principal, it is a principal class or not. As I already showcase you, principal class is something, or where you want to put a I can say in simple words, uh, 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 the top class basically. Let's take an example. You're working on incidents and problem or the change, and only you want to see or showcase the couple of class only on that particular configuration item field which is available on incident, problem, change, or wherever, right? So you can select this one. So based on the principal class checkbox, those particular tables will showcase, or those particular class will showcase on the reference field of incident, problem, change, or whenever you are using, right? So apart from that, other class will not be showcased here, right? So customers what can do, they don't want to expose the complete CMDB, because if they are exposing complete CMDB, they have lots of class and lots of useless class as well, couple of times, where data is also put into ServiceNow discovery, right? Like IP addresses, right? Network gears, right? So couple of class there which don't required by the end users while they are selecting CIs. So here what the customer selecting that Windows server, application servers, database, Linux, network devices, all type of network devices, right? So those particular class they are making as a principal class to create that, right? So if we want to be, we can check it. If we don't want, we can leave it, right? Add attributes. So you are extending here you are extending from the web server here, so automatically web server attribute is there, which is derived one. If you want to see specific attribute you want to be add, you can create, you can add it here, right, directly. If I just want to put like version 1, right, so automatically that will be there. If you want to put reference or string or whatever type of, you can put it there, right, max length. So this is something while you are creating a custom table and you're putting some attribute there, right, so you can also do that, right. The next and the important rule is the set identification rule. If you see here, identifier entry is automatically picked up from web server table, right? So there on that, there are two rules running on it. One is for application table, where priority is this, they are checking that class and credentialless discovery port. And the second is they are checking again the application table, the class and running process command and running process key parameters. Basically running process command and the running process key parameters is a unique value. But if you feel while you're running discovery or while you're working on that particular process classifier and identify, no, this is something I need to be add as well. So you can also do replace as we discussed already, and you can put that particular specific rule if you want to do. So let's leave it like that only. If you want to do add any dependencies, if you want to add any dependent relationships, right, you can also do that, right. So automatically we have a dependency with runs with hardware and that operating derived. But if you want to put override dependencies or if you want to create custom dependencies, you can also do that. That is also available, right. So if I override relationships with Windows Server, okay, target class is, okay, that is something runs on runs ही लेते हैं. Let's see, runs on runs. The relationship type is runs on runs, and I'm targeting class is Linux server, so I can do that, right? And it will modify. So one thing dependency is updated as a Linux servers with runs on runs with this particular applications. So it just showcase if it just on, again our thought process is what customer wants to be populate and what relationship types he is looking for, that basically, right. The next is add reconciliation rules. That is also one of the important things, but basically that applications things will not coming, or I have not seen anywhere that application is discovered by any other tool and populating service now. But if you feel yes, okay, like application is coming from two different tools, like one of your discovery and one another tool, or service graph connector integrations we did, and that data is populating from there, we can also configure the reconciliations. I hope you understand about the reconciliations, what reconciliations do. When we have two or more than two data sources and we want to reconcile the data, and we want to put key that the specific attribute will populate from A source and the specific attribute will populate by B source, so we can do that, right. So let me add example to showcase you, like my discovery source, that they are the discovery source out of the box. When you are doing service graph connectors or any integrations and you want to be populate the discovery, you have to be very specific to create this discovery source or populate those records in the service now with the specific discovery source, right. So let's take an example. Service now is this, and I just want to put priorities like again 100, select attribute, which what is this, yeah, okay, discovery service now 100, select attribute, right. So here I can select which attribute I just want to be populated by ServiceNow discovery, like type, TCP port, version, right. I just want to be populate, and version 1 I specifically created. Version is already there, but version 1 I've created because I just want to be populate the version 1 from different discovery source or different something, right. So I can populate in the next one, right. So that is when I have just created reconciliation. Second thing, let me create from manual and Lendesk, right. I just put 200, and I'm just going to put version 1 to be populated from Lendesk only. So what I've created now, the two reconciliation rules from discovery, the all attribute will be populated by the ServiceNow discovery, but these particular three port like TCP ports, type, and version attribute will be populated by them. But The other version 1 attribute, when Lendesk discovery run or Lendesk integration run or the service graph connector scheduled service graph connector runs, based on that particular will be populated only. So that's why I put it priority is 200, right? Once that is updated, and after that that will be updating, right? Don't do like that you are updating two at same attribute with the two different sources, otherwise you not able to identify which one is the correct or which one is source of truth, right? So make sure, if you are, while we are doing with doing customer discussions, we are always try to ask, sir, how you want to be populate, which is your source of truth, what you want, like you want to be create source of truth as a service now, or you want to create source of truth xyz source or monitor source tool to populate that particular attribute. So that comes with while we are doing discovery or basically or our workshop sessions with the customer, right? Again, this is also a data refresh tools which is help us to refresh the CIs and not moving out the CIs to in the stale one, right? So you can also, if you want to do that, you can also do that. So your CI should be updated from any data source. If you want to create, you can also create that one, right? So effective durations, you can create a discovery source, you can put effective durations when when you feel that my CI should be updated. If it is not, then it will move out to stale. We have CI, or basically we can say CMDB dashboard. There we can also see how many CIs is not updating from couple of days. We can also configure that as well. So we'll moving out to 3Cs. We'll discuss on that point as well. But if you want to see, if you want to update your CI, that should be updated in couple of days or after a couple of days. So that will not move out to that. You can also create the data refresh rules as well. So data will be refreshing automatically, right? And then next is add suggested relationships, right? So in suggested relationships, we already see, again, if you want to add new relationships, here you have added dependent relationships. If you want, so if you want, that is the suggested relationships by service. Now if you want to add, you can click and just add it, that particular thing as well, right? So how, basically in this way you are creating a custom class, right? So let me done this, and my class will be created. Any questions in that till here?
So Ajay, this is the custom class we are creating. Now,
Yes.
if we go back and if you could please show us, take one regular Windows that's already been provided by ServiceNow and walk us through what's.
Definitely. Yes, definitely. Right. So let me open this one. One moment. And let me open the Windows server. Okay. So here you can see that I've created a custom class just to showcase you. These are the attributes, and we have only created one attribute on this particular class, that is version 1. But apart from that, other attribute, like these, everything is extended from web server class, right? Because we have created a child class under the web servers. If I do that, and if I click on the new, here as well, if you see, the form is not designed in that way, data will be populated, so form will be picked up automatically from web server out of the box, right? If I go here in the Windows server, again, Windows server is part of that server class. There are lots of other attribute and specific attribute. If you want to create, we can also do that. Let me put those particular attribute here just to showcase you. See, so these other attribute, like what type of it is, classification is there, right? Cost currency, if we want to populate something, right? So that is there. But if I open, sorry, if I open the new CI form for Windows, we have name, asset tag, manufacturer, asset automatically will be creating, company, serial number, model ID assigned to, OS domain, operating system. So these are the basic attribute which is required for a server, that is there. If we want to add it something, we can also add that. Again, it's just to create a custom attribute and populate here in the form, that we can do that, right? Same here, we can also do that as well if you want to be create custom basically custom attribute, and if you want to see like that should be required to be updated, right? But as if you remember when we are discussing the data model, I especially mentioned that one key, you can modify, or you can discuss the data model, what should be required and how he want to be look and feel of it, right? So let's take an example here. If I do this one, okay, so let's take an example of data model when we are discussing of let's discuss on the Windows server. And again, data model, we are always going to be discussed on the principal classes, which is required by the customer, because there are lots of data and lots of tables for everything. You cannot create the data model, right? But we need to be understand which is the most important classes of the customers and how he wants to be look and feel of it, right? And what attribute he wants to be mandatory and non-mandatory. So what usually I do, so I will put like example section first. Let me a little bit zoom this. I hope is visible to execute. So first of all, I'm going to be discuss the section, like one first section is general. Then I'm going to be discuss in the general section attribute like field name, right? Type of the field, mandatory or not, is this discoverable, right? And then if discoverable not, so source of truth. Example that how I'm just creating the data model. You can also, there are a couple of other fields which we want to be add, we can add it as well, right? So example, the field name is name. What is the type of it? That field name is string. Yes, it's mandatory. Yes, it's discoverable. Source of is the service now. If that is populating from any other data source, if you feel that service now discovering the incorrect name, and if you want to populate, you can put that as well. So if source of to update that particular CI will help out to configure the reconciliations also while we are working, right? Application owner, app owner, data owner, right? Manufacturer. What others fields we have it? Asset tag, serial number, model ID, right? Asset tag, serial number, model ID. So again, we need to be put what type of it is field, manufacturer. If it is reference field, we can also put which table it is referencing, right? Asset tag. So it will gives a good glimpse to the customer that is the data that is required mandatory, that is discoverable or not, and how we are going to be update. If it is not discoverable, we have to take a call how we have to be update. If it is like app owner or data owner is, you cannot discover it, right? It's not discoverable. So how you are going to be populate going forward? The first time might be customer provide that we have an Excel sheet, we have the data for app owner and CI owner. Based on that name or IP, you can update in ServiceNow tables, right? But what is the going forward approach when new CI will be creating? Every time you are going to use the Excel sheets, how, what is the process for that? We have to be discussed as well as a CMDB owner, or as a discovery, or as a consultant while we are working with the customer, right? Second thing, mandatory and non-mandatory will help out to see that see the percentage of the completions, right? If customer says like that is mandatory and that is not coming from any of a discovery or not manual, right? So we have to take a call on that as well. Okay, how, if you are putting mandatory and you're not able to provide the data, manual data, how we can put, how we can reach out to the completion percentage, right? Second thing, customer is providing the data, right? But somehow we are missing that one. We can also see that that is not updated by myself or ourselves. That is the reason, right? So that is mandatory. There are two type of things, right? So while we are working on the 3 Cs of our ServiceNow, basically in the CMDB, there are two things: required or recommended, right? Couple of fields automatically mandatory here, right? I am not able to see, like, name is mandatory field. If I go to configure dictionary, name is out of the box mandatory, means that is required by ServiceNow, right? But it's not mandatory. They have not put it like that, right? Might be it's not. The serial number might be mandatory because while we are creating any CI, you should be put something mandatory. Okay, this is also not mandatory. So out of the box, couple of fields mandatory, but that is not right. So we have to check which fields out of the box is mandatory, because that must be required to create a CI, right? And apart from that, because that is required attributes. Apart from that, recommended, which is recommended by your customer, that you want to put as a mandatory. So based on that, your 3 Cs will work on it, right? Which is completeness, compliance, and there is one more, right? So that we have to be discuss about that one. That is one section general. Then if you want to put business section, business owner example. So you have to be discuss the business owners like CI owner, again data owner, app owner, group, CI support group, right? And the third section is CI information, where you are going to be add like RAM, HDD, OS, OS version, right? And IP, domain name. Everything is available here in this record, right? You can see it, but we just want to give a clear information or the clear things. We just need to create a data model, so customer little see case like how we are going to be present that one and how we are going to showcase them, right? And if he want to be looked any CI information or anything, he go to that, if it is configuration, he go to that specific section and find out that information. And if he want to see the business, he can go to the business section and he can find out easily those particular things, right? So in that particular way, we have to be design the data model of our CMDB. And as I again mentioned, we cannot create the data model for each and every class, but those particular principal classes which is going to be used by the customer much. So if I give an example of those particular simple classes, like Windows Server, like any type of server class like Windows, Linux, AIX, Unix, or networks, all type of network, IP router, IP switch, those will be there. Storage, virtual machine instances, VM, ESX servers, and again vCenter, and couple of applications like Tomcat, Apache, database tables, database instances. Those are the basic classes which we have to be create. And everything, that particular thing, what attribute is coming from discovery and what not coming from the discovery, if you don't know, that is also available on the ServiceNow documentations. You can find out easily that is coming from discovery, and that is mandatory or non-mandatory to create a CI. So that just that information is also available there, but you have to make sure how you are going to do that. Any questions in that?
Ajay, a question I have is the app owner and the data owner that you specified, that's not discoverable, right? We get from the customer. Do you recommend good practice to store it in a custom table so that we can be referenced?
No, that is not a custom table, first of all, right? These are the attribute itself of the same table. Here, if you see, that is one assigned to here, right? Let me go back. Okay, and if I click here, see, assigned to is there, assigned is there, assigned to is there, approval group is there, right? And if I see change group is there. So I'm just talking about those are not discoverable, right? and support group is there. Let me add this one, support group. On buy is there, right? Order received, that is mostly not required by the customer, but if something is required which is not discoverable, we have to be discussed with customer how we have to be populate, right? you know what I feel, the manual attribute which is not discoverable, customer will provide an Excel sheet to you and update that one, right? If it is updating that one the first time, I'm okay, we are okay, right? But what is the ongoing practice, right? So what I should what will I do basically on the ongoing process is, I'm just creating a catalog for a new CI build or update the CI, right? Where customer comes and enter, like he wants a new CI. So while he wants a new CI, I am asking couple of things to them, like what type of OS you want, what type of, like we are provisioning on Azure, right? So he asking to us as well, what type of OS you want, what type of size of the CI you want, right? As well as specific attribute which is must required by the customer, like who is the app owner, who is the data owner, who is the support group, which team or which resources that CI is going to be assigned. So that specific information I am asking on the first step while creating that particular catalog, right? And once that is submit, catalog is going for approval, and once approved, that is assigned to that infra team to build that particular machine, like to assign a IP, to assign a host name, and configure that particular machine with a specific OS. Once the IP is assigned and that is done, automatically what we are doing, we are automatically triggering a task to for discovery. But before that, we create an CI in ServiceNow CMDB in specific table, right? So CI is already created, a record is already created, that is required attribute which we have already received on the catalog, that is updated. But we also added the same IP in our discovery schedules, and when discovery starts, automatically the other attribute which is discovered or which is coming from the discovery are also updated in that particular record as well, right? That is the one thing which I take an approach. And the second, for update, if anything, any attribute wants to be updated, right, I just give reference field on the again catalog, which CI you want to be update, which attribute you want to be update, what is the new value you want to be update, which is non-discoverable, again not for discovery one, because discovery one is coming from the discovery only, right? Or any service graph connector or any integration. So we are discussing those things and updating, and once he submit that thing, again one approval goes to CMDB manager or owner. Once that is done, that is going to be update the existing CI automatically, right? Second, third thing is, for those particular things, we have a couple of customers using third-party solutions like LeanIX, right? Where they are storing about their business services, application services, honors related to that information. So we can do the integration with that to populate that data, ongoing or on the schedule basis, right? So these three things which I followed basically as a best practices, because end of the day, customer is worried about only the percentage completions, and there should not be a compliance issue, right? He don't want to see, like we have 10,000 CI which is discovered, and only the percentage completion is 50 or 60% due to attribute. The customer is looking for that, right? So we need to be update, we need to be worked on those particular things to be fixed it, right? Might be, we have to be think in that way as well. We, when we are aligning on project, we are coming as a implementation consultants, right? We are implemented, we just showcase the 90% value, we have somehow we have achieved that one using manual or whatever, right? We showcase like, sir, we have reached out to 90%. And after that, we moved out to that project, and support teams comes in. Might be support teams belongs to my organization only, or customer hire the internal support team. We have to give the KT, we have to provide that each and everything document to them how the things is working now. And we, if we not set the process correctly, right, if we not do the things, support team will be very occupied, and they will face lots of issues because we did not done our job correctly, right? And they will be always challenging and all other things, right? So that's why if the first place we are doing our job correctly, or our job, on the place, like working on those particular things in default manner, support team will, little bit easy. And definitely service now discovery, or that, complete item is not just a one go implementation. That will learn by, or that will update by maturity, and process and other changing day by day here. And as you know, CI discovery is, it's not we have discovered one time and that is done, right? Every day something comes new CI will be added, new CI will be discovering. Might be some process change at the service now customer side, they also going to be do something like that, right? So we have to just discover or plan in that way, or implement in that way ki customer is not worry about, or he will seek, like, the things is going in the proper manner, right? So we have to be take care on those particular things. That's why I'm saying that we have to discuss the complete process, complete things to be are doing before implementation. And customer can inconsistently, manage that particular percentage going forward. I hope, Lalit, I'm able to help you out your answer.
Yeah, Ajay, that helps. Yeah.
Okay. So now that records we have created, let's go back to here. Discovery is also done. So we guys, anyone else apart from Lalit, do you have any questions, anything? I hope you're getting it, my point, what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we are discussing about the process classifications. So as I mentioned, the process classification specifically for window, or sorry, specific for applications if you want to be discovered, right? Here I have just created a relationships type runs on runs, name, start with Nginx. Here, whatever we are going to use, we just need to think about that should be unique, right? If it is unique, that will be good for us. So it will not create a duplicate issues or duplicate CIs or duplicate application CIs in our CMDB, right? So if name start with Nginx, name contains master, and it's unique for particular class or application. It's not unique for particular CI. If it is put Nginx example, name starts with Nginx, and we found only one server or one application server with Nginx, we are able to discover only. And if another Nginx server have XYZ, we are not able to do that, right? So that should be, if any Nginx servers we found name start with Nginx, that should be available, that should be discovered, and that should be populated in the same class, right? Because we are going to be discover a couple of other attributes. Name contains master, name is nginx.exe. So these are the three attributes they have. He's mentioned there. If you want to test with any specific credentials, we can add there as well, right? So sorry, if we want to test with a specific class or specific CI, we can also test that as well, right? So that is there. And order active, that is simple things. If we want to put any specific on classification scripts, right, how you want to be, that you can add it here as well. Apart from that, how you will get, or which props you will trigger, that is there, right? So there are two props they have configured, SSH command Nginx get configurations, or this one. Using those particular props, you are able to get that information. Let me open this one. We have already discussed about the props, right? So let me open this prop, Nginx get information. Nginx version. This is my prop. What is prop parameters? There again, we have run a process, post processes scripts here, right? And that will trigger this particular parameter, that will the value has been as such, right? So, and which sensor it is going to be react, that is reacting to that particular sensors, which is collecting the data from that host machine and populated in service now. There's one more, I hope I'm right. This is also an Nginx get information configuration, right? So this is for that. So that is basically command which we are running on that particular machines to get the data for Nginx specific. So that is for configuration, that is for version, right? So that particular things will be running and we are collecting the data from there to populate in ServiceNow. So it is, if you think about learning now learning module, we have to create Intune process classifier. I'm not sure how many you have completed, till here, application, pro phase and classifications. I can help out to kind of cover that, but what I feel, it will be good if you can complete this one, create iTunes process classifier from your side, and tomorrow we'll discuss on that particular point. I hope everyone okay with me. Otherwise, I don't have any issue to, create and showcase how the process classifiers works for Intune or any other application, right? How we can configure the new one and how it will be showcased or in our discovery. But I just, what I want, if you do from your side, while you are doing from your side, you are doing some, thing or some troubleshooting from your side, and you will get it some more knowledge. And while you're working on those particular things, might be you have a couple of other questions which might be I'm not able to cover it here, right? So it will be good if you can do it from your side, and we'll discuss tomorrow. If anyone facing any issues or anything, we'll cover it and we'll fix that particular things. Because now, we are approaching, we have already completed 15 days, we are approaching to end of the sessions in the next 2 weeks. So the everything which we are going to be cover is something, the practical, pure practical, where we are creating the classifications, where we are creating the custom pattern, where we are creating the custom extension section of the pattern, right? Where we are discussing about that CMDB, complete CMDB. Each and everything which we are going to be discuss is all about the configuration only, or modification or the customization. The basics things which we have already did in last 15 days. Any questions from anyone in that particular point to do that? Are you agree with me? Are you able to do that? Yes, no, maybe, or do you want, Ajay, I want you have to showcase how that particular things will be working?
We'll try to give it a shot. If at least I didn't start, so it might be a while before I reach to module 6, but I'll give it a shot.
So, basically one more thing I just want to add. There is nothing on that particular other, you just need to validate, just need to be validate the mid server. Running discovery, just it's a quick discovery. There is no task basically. Task is this, quick discovery is this. There is not much task, right? So if you see that these are the create credentials, discovery schedule, behavior, that is simple task basically, right? But it's not like you have to be complete each and everything. You just need to create the created credentials, just need to be discover that particular machine on the Windows one, because that is on Windows machine, right? That particularly just to showcase you, there is no task, right? And you can immediately reach out to that one. So there are three things basically. First, enable your mid server. Second, create your credentials. Okay, and third, run the discovery on Windows, and after that you can reach out to that machine directly to do that particular task. It's not you have to be complete each and every task.
Sure.
And which I tell you, that is only 15 minutes job to do that. Mid server up, credentials or discovery. That is not more than 15 minutes. And after that, this is also 10 minutes job only. But till the time you are not doing your hands dirty, I don't feel you are able to grab that what I'm trying to say, what informations from my side. And till the time you are not coming to me ki Ajay, this is the issue, we have to be fix it. And this I tried it, like Harish reached out to me on yesterday, he's facing some issue. uh, I thought I pinged him that just check this necessary things, and he's able to already check it, but still not able to do that, right? So he tried something, and now after we are going to be discussing that particular thing here as well. Okay, what error do you face it, right? So still the time you're not doing your hand dirty, you're not able to grab that particular information. So you have to do that, guys. And I hope everyone is agreed with me. If no one is agreed, please let me know. I don't have an issue to teach you like a teacher, but I don't want to do that basically. I hope everyone is getting my point, right? So that is something which you have to do that. If you're not able to do, definitely I will, give 10 to 15 minutes tomorrow to cover that one. It's not a big deal for me. Okay, now Harish, let's move out to your point. Can you share your screen and showcase me what is the error you're facing?
Actually, I lost my instance, Ajay. I couldn't able to showcase you right now, but
Okay. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Anyone have their ServiceNow instance opening from Now Learning?
I have a new one, Ajay. Plugin was installed last week, but
Mm.
the problem is I don't have a mid server and I don't have a now learning.
No, because you want to be access the machine, you should require that one. So simple thing. Why I'm just want to ask you to share your screen because you are using Windows and I'm using Mac, right? In Mac, if I if
I can share my
Mhm.
screen, but mine also MacBook, Ajay.
Okay, if you have a MacBook, then you just install Microsoft Remote Desktop. Simple.
But I don't have a Windows machine. Even though if I have to take remote, I don't have a no learning or a Windows machine. What
Okay,
I did.
let's do one thing. Just open it. Just share your screen. Let me share my you know uh, credentials with you. Now learning credentials, but don't do anything on that one. My mid server and other things running on it, right? So no issues. Just open.
Just a second. Actually, I when I click share, I think it's opening preferences.
Okay,
Just a
let me
second.
stop my sharing. I just put it my now learning instance, or sorry, URL of the mid and the username and password to you. And couple of times it's just to security regions and that access issues while you're running or using a remote desktop on your MacBook.
Hmm. Ajay, two things. I don't have an RTP installed yet, and second one, I think when I do preference change the security and privacy in the Mac, right? It's
Mhm.
asking me to quit and reopen.
Uh, leave it. Just try. Just install the Microsoft Remote Desktop.
Hmm.
Okay, the tool on your laptop, MacBook, and just simple access it. Like I'm what I'm doing. I'm just install this one. Let me share my screen again. Might be it's not right.
Ajay, then can I try with my screen?
Of course, Sumit. It's not limited to Harish. If you want to be, definitely.
Okay, I have a couple of things handy with me.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Uh,
Let me
uh,
stop my sharing. That I
uh,
want, guys. If you are doing something and you're coming to me, I'm really feels happy on that one while you're going to be help out on those things, actual things, basically.
Ajay, meanwhile, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, last time I told you I was trying to do the cloud discovery. I created account in AWS and created whatever the configuration, right? Cloud service account. I did everything in my instance earlier when I have
Mm-hmm.
made and everything was up and running. What happened was I'm able to discover the data centers. Whatever the data centers, I am able to see them in the related list, data center related list. What I
Mm-hmm.
have to next, like, can I what? See, I know we can install Windows and Linux in EC2 instance, create an
Mm-hmm.
EC2 instance and install those two. Other than that, can we do anything like install any
Definitely.
other things and discover them?
No, I think other than we cannot do anything on our free AWS or Azure portals, right? We just only able to do that EC2, but you can do cloud discovery. While you are doing cloud discovery, that everything related to your data centers, your resource, cloud resources, whatever that network, cloud network, or everything that should be discoverable. Just only make sure you are giving the correct permissions to your subscription or your resource group.
Okay. Yeah,
I also faced that challenge while I was working on Azure side and configuring that one, that I invested more than 2 or 3 days to fix that issues, because we are not the Azure expert, right? We are
Yeah,
service
even I don't
expert.
know.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, what I did was, even though for that security or a secret key and that whatever the credential records, right? I just Googled and created one in AWS, but haven't
Just
like
just
created any
just
Windows
just right.
application.
Just go through the ServiceNow documentation again and see how, because in ServiceNow documentation specific, step by step they have mentioned where you have to go to AWS, what access or you have to be give it, what type of credentials you have to be create. Just go one step by step and recheck once those particular things again.
Okay, and ESX server, do can we install it in AWS, or it's only
No,
limited to VMware?
no, it's limited to VMware.
Okay,
ESX
got
is something which are now, standalone ESX servers is also available, which not limited to VMware, but we
it.
cannot install on AWS.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I got an idea now. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yes, Shamit, you are saying
Yeah.
something.
So here yesterday when I tried, I just get this error and it's not responding. This one, this is my instance, and
No, you,
one
you are
is
you
of
are you are you are accessing on browser. Why?
yeah. So no, I'm just checked here also here and if I just check with yours.
Uh,
Sorry, I just
you haven't shared your entire screen, Sumit.
okay. Just stop sharing.
You have to be share your complete desktop if you want.
Now this is visible.
Yes.
Okay. See, when I just try to connect with mine, this one, it shows this
Now,
error.
now you see what username you are using. You're using
Yeah.
desktop hyphen this. Why you're using
Okay.
this one? Just simple use administrator, right?
No, I just given administrator over here, and this is the URL.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if I just try to get connected,
Mhm.
see, but it will come in that way
No, no,
only.
no.
See, administrator.
Put your password now.
But this one is coming desktop
No, no,
something.
no. Leave it. Yeah, just
Okay.
connect.
Okay.
No, you are doing something wrong. Might be. Just close this one. Just do one thing. Just close the remote desktop as well. Open the again remote desktop. Okay, now just put the complete the URL which you want to be connect.
Anything HTTPS or something?
No, nothing, not required anything. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, connect here. Now put username. Mm-hmm. Not remember me, nothing. That's it. Put now password. Because what is something out of the box configuration is it's checking Microsoft account that sumitbansal.web.hotmail.com. That should not be.
Yeah,
You
that is
have
what
that
yesterday
is
even I just tried to do this troubleshooting.
right, because you have to remove this one that is coming out of the box, or somewhere wait one moment, because just go to the advanced here only. See the configuration here is basically connection anywhere. Go to the settings, connection anywhere. What is that? No, nothing. Leave it. close this one. Go to display, go to local resources, setting, nothing, experience, detect, reconnect if the connection is drop, resistances, connect connection qualities automatically. Go to advanced again, server authentication, verify. No, use a web account. Okay, just connect this one. No, cancel. Just try once again. Just put the password. It's still again using your local laptop, but it should not be. No. You are using something. That is the reason only. It's
Yeah.
it's using your local laptop. Run as just click on run as administrator, that command or remote desktop. I never tried on that Windows one. Connect. Wait. Just cancel it. Cancel it. Oh, okay. Go back. Just connect. Click on the connect.
Need to give this one.
Wait. Click on connect and then wait. Don't save it. Just connect. Go to more choices. No. Here only. Scroll it down. Use a different account. Put administrator now and the password and connect. No. This is something, close
Try
this.
with small a in the administrator. Might be.
You are using capital. Oh, it's a small capital A only, no? Try with that, but it should not be then. This is something find out some new issue. I think I have to be check on my Windows laptop as well.
And it's did it depend upon that single and that user account also? Like we can't take the remote from here
No,
because
it's
I
not.
think
It's not like that. No, it's use a web account. No, not required a web account. It's just simple normal account. You can take the RDP. It's not a big deal because I'm also taking from my machine. And when I'm connecting, I'm not getting any issue. I just need to put username or password, and because there is no nothing I'm using like that, so I'm just simple. Second, I'm just connecting from my side because when I'm connecting, it connecting immediately without any issue. Yes, it's connected for me. It's connected within 1 minute, 1 second only.
yeah. Yesterday I spent a lot of time on this.
No, let me try to
And
find out something on it. No issues. I think I have to try on my Windows machine and see what configuration changes or what access issues you're missing here. Might be
okay.
this is your local laptop issue or local computer issue. It's not like anything related to that, right? Or you can, if you have any another Windows machine, you can try that as well.
Okay, I'll give a try on that one.
Yeah, because that you can connect from anywhere. So just if you have another Windows machine, just take the remote desktop connections and see and try it from there. Okay, and let me know once again if you're not able to do that. We'll see something, or I will try to from my side as well today, and we'll let you know tomorrow as well on those things. Okay, no issues. So guys, it's already time now. So do we have any other questions? Anything from anyone? But just request you guys, please try that process classifier task tomorrow or today only, and we'll discuss tomorrow before, wrapping up the tomorrow sessions and all other things. Anything from anyone? Last? No.
Good for now. Thanks, Ajay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.